Hi, workplace people. I'm on to section B. So in your booklet, we're doing measuring, drawing angles, and classifying angles. All right, you are going to need a protractor for this section. So find your protractor. You might need a ruler or just something that's going to make a straight edge. It's fine with me too. But you will need a protractor. Find your protractor. If you don't have any, there is some in an envelope in front of the school doors. Go over there and grab one out of there. I made a bunch of plastic ones. So there's no excuse not to have a protractor. All right. We're going to review the types of angles that we have. So over the years, you should have picked these up along the way, but if not, here they are. Acute angle is anything that's going to be less than 90 degrees. So we look at our angles, right? You will notice that there's a little line here. That's the angle that they're looking at, right? So it's less than 90 degrees. We know that a 90 degrees is a straight corner. When we have something that's 90 degrees, it is a right corner, right? In our protractor, that's up and down this way. Okay, so anything that's between 0 and 90 is going to be our acute. As soon as we hit that 90 mark, here, I could probably use this bottom one. No, can't see it. As soon as we hit that 91, it becomes a right angle. All right, and we have the other one that we know when it becomes straight across, like the edge of a ruler, right? That's 180 degrees. So anything between 90 and 180, my angle coming to there, 100, 110, 120, right? If I open it at this direction up, is going to be an obtuse angle. And anything that is between 180 and 360, because a full circle, right? A full circle is 360 degrees. So if I had two protractors together, that creates a full circle, right? There's 180, here's 180, 200s and 80s will give me 360. So on your protractor, it may look like this. It actually may even look like that on top of it. See how they look almost identical to each other. Some have lines in the middle, some don't. All right. I chose this one just because I could easily write on it. You will notice that most protractors have 2 rows of numbers, and those are what's causing the biggest problem when you read a protractor. Because of the fact that, let's say that this little part right here is where I'm going to put my vertex. This little part that's right there, that goes right there. My vertex goes there. And then my lines, these lines here, right? These lines right here go on part of the angle. So if I was measuring this angle here, this goes right at my vertex. And then I got to make sure, you see how this line here is not on that line. I got to line it up, right? It's on this part. That means if it's on this part right here, I don't start at 180, I start at 0. We always start at 0, all right? If I have an angle that's looking, if I flip this angle around and I put my line over on this side and my vertex like that, then again I'm going to start at 0. I'm going to use the inside one and to go up to there. All right? I'm not going to use the 180. I'm going to use the 0. Always start at your 0. All right? So for example, if I drew an angle on here, let's say that I draw an angle out like this, and it goes here, and I'm just going to put one through right there, right through that, right? There's my angle. Well, I have 2 numbers over here, right? Is it the 60 degrees or is it the 120? Well, you're going to use the one that starts at 0 because it goes out this side. You're going to use the 0, and you're going to use that scale, not this other scale. And you're going to go around until you hit that. So therefore, the 120 is the one you're going to read. All right. If I start on this side, let me use a different color. If I start on the other side, right? I'm going to use purple. And let's say that I go to right there. Right? And I Look at this angle right there. Again, I'm going to start at 0. I'm going to use the outside one this time, and I'm going to go up, and I'm going to use the outside. So this tells me that this angle is 30 degrees, whereas this angle was 120 degrees. Don't get mixed up, right? Because you can see that this one is really greater than 90. It's bigger than 90 degrees, and when it's bigger than 90 degrees, right, it's obtuse. This would be an obtuse angle. This one is acute. All right, so be careful there. And we're going to do lots of measuring and lots of drawing and that sort of thing in this section. So let's go to part B, or the second part. You're going to have to be able to draw or measure off of each of the angles and classify. So you're not going to need your protractor. It's already drawn on a protractor, right? And again, your angle tells you where you start. A, you notice, will be the center of all these questions, right? Because that's our vertex. And then D is where we're ending up. So I'm starting at B, I'm going to A, and I'm going to D. So I'm going to start at the 0 here because that's my B side. I'm going to go up to D, which gives me 70 degrees. It tells me that it's acute. It's less than 90. It's acute. All right. I'm going to go to the next one. Yeah, I think I can do that. If I move that up just slightly, then I can get the whole question in. There we go. And that's probably good. So I'm going to go from G to A to C. So I'm starting over here. I'm going, this is my line. So I'm going to start at 0. I'm going to choose the outside one, and I'm going to keep going until I hit C. So 140, and it's halfway, right? 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. It's 145 means it's obtuse. All right. G, so I'm starting over here again, to A to E. Okay, so I'm just looking at G to A to E. So if I'm looking at that, you can see that it is one tick before the 80 because I'm starting at the 0 again. So I'm using that outside one. That's 79 degrees. So I'm going to write 79 degrees in there, and I want acute. Put your little degree symbol on. All right. B-A-G, B to A to G. Oh, that's straight right across, 180 degrees. And that's my straight angle. Now these last two are going to be a little different because of the fact that I'm going from a C to an A to an F. I'm starting here and ending up over here. So they're not going to. So how do I know that? All right. Well, with these ones, I can choose either of the two scales. I just have to subtract my two values. So let's say that I go angle CAF. I'm going to do the work up here. Let's say that I go on the outside one. And it doesn't matter which order I read. Well, it will be when I look at it. My outside one, it's between 140 and 150, so that's got to be 145 right in the center. So the outside is 145, and the outside one here is 35, halfway between again. So I'm going to subtract them in that order, right? 145 minus 135 gives me 110 degrees. Now if I use the inside one, I better get a 110, right? So this one, the inside one, is 145. And this one over here is 35. So it didn't matter which one I used, inside or outside. I ended up with the same answer of 110, which is obtuse. All right. I'm going to do EAD. So E to D. EAD. So this angle right here is what I'm looking at. Again, angle EAD. And I'm going to go outside. And again, you don't have to do both. Just do one of them. But if you do both, they will match up. So let's do, we have 110 on this outside. And the outside here is a 79. It's not an 81. Be careful. 81 is over on this side because it's between 80 and 90. So it looks like it's an 81, but it's not. 70 to 80, it's going this direction. So it's a 79. Right? And if I go the inside one, I've got, and again, it's not a 99, it is a 101. Right? Because 110 is over here, 101, and this one is a 70. Right? If you get your calculator out, 110 minus 79, oh, clear. 110 minus 79 gives me 31, and 101 minus 70 gives me a 31. Doesn't matter which way, outside's the top one, inside's the bottom one. Gave me the exact same value, 31 degrees. So 31 degrees gives me an acute. All right, so that's measuring. Last part is drawing. Okay, so if you have to go back, read that, watch that again, go ahead. But I'm going to move on to drawing. All right. Let's see if I can get that a little clearer. There we are. So I've got how to draw and label an angle. So they tell me what my angle is. It's angle ABC. I need it 40 degrees. I'm going to draw, make sure that you know how to draw these left, right, left or right. So this first one I'm going to draw so that it opens this direction. All right, so that means I'm going to put my protractor down like that, and I'm going to open it this direction. So again, I want to go from the 0, not from the 180, up to the 0, 0 to 40. So I'm going to use that tick right there. All right, then use my straight edge and draw it out. Put an arrow on it, label it A, B, C, according to that. And put my 40 in there and put my line in. So it shows that it's not the outside angle but the inside angle. All right, I'm going to draw my 90 degree, which is my next one, which is a right angle, the other direction. So I'm going to again draw that, but this time my vertex is on there and my angle's over here. So now I'm just going to use the opposite side of my protractor. Again, line it up. This is there. This is not how you're lining it up, right? This has to go on the vertex. Put it on the vertex. This is not like how you're lining it up, right? You gotta put it on that line. There it is. Find your 90. Oh, there it is. Draw your line in. Doesn't matter. Your line doesn't even have to meet up to that one. I'm going to stop it right there. Makes no difference. 90 is always represented by a square. 90 degrees, label D, E, F. And again, it doesn't matter which direction you go. This could be D, E, or F. Okay, as long as that one is E. Okay. One more page. So we did an acute, we did a right. Let's do an obtuse. There we go. Let's do an obtuse. Again, I'm going to go from the left-hand side this time. There's my vertex, my angle, and I'm going to go 124. Again, when I'm looking at this, I don't want this 124. Oh, that 124. No, that one started at 0. That would give me an acute angle. I know that 124 is obtuse. All right? It's obtuse, so I got to make sure that I go from the 0 all the way over to here to 124, which is one tick before the 125. Again, I'm going to draw my line out to there. So think about it. Ask yourself, am I using the right number? Because I need it to be obtuse. 124, label it. G, H, I. Okay, that one. Straight line, the easiest one to draw. Draw a straight line. I'm going to draw it on an angle, just like that. Doesn't matter how you draw it. Find a spot, put your vertex, J, K, L. And draw it in, right in your stuff. Super easy one. Now the reflex one, they're greater than 180. Now the problem is that our protractor only goes to 180, right? But remember, a full circle is 360, right? So if my angle is greater than 220, what is left over, there has to be some angle that's left over, right? Think about this one. There's a big angle. That's a reflex angle on the opposite side. It's got to be bigger whatever's left after I take 360 minus 124, that's my reflex angle. So that's essentially what I'm trying to draw, is this angle over here. Well, I know how to draw these angles, so draw those angles and then label your opposite side. So take your full 360, subtract off the angle that you're trying to find, right? And draw this angle. I don't want this angle. It says draw the angle you have left over, the angle you don't want. I'm going to now draw this angle. All right? So I'm going to draw 140. Straight line, arrow, dot. Put my protractor on. I'm going to draw the 140. So starting at 0, going all the way over to here to 140. And I'm going to draw that. Now, I'm not going to label this because that's my 140. I don't want that. I want this side over here. That's my 220 degrees. M, N, O. I want the side that I didn't want. I don't want this side. That's the 140. All right? And then label your opposite side. There's my 220. Right? Because look at this. There's my 180 all the way to there. And then I had a little bit more to get to 220. So I have 318, right? Again, I don't have a protractor that goes 318, but I do know that I can draw the angle I don't want by subtracting it away from 318. Borrow. 10 minus 8 is 2. 5 minus 1 is 4. So I'm going to draw a 42-degree angle. Again, I'm going to draw it just so I can flip directions. I'm going to draw it so that I have it on this side, line it up. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 42 is that second notch. And again, there's my 42-degree angle. But do I want the 42-degree angle? No. I don't want this one. I'm not going to put the line there. I'm going to put this line on that side. I'm going to label it as 318. All right? And I'm going to label it PQR. All right? And I could even put them on the inside too. That looks kind of funny with them both on one side and another on the other. PQR. There we go. P to Q to R. 318 degrees. There's my reflex. So again, toughest ones out there, not too bad. Just subtract them from 360. Draw what you don't want, what the angle you don't want, and label the opposite side of it. I do not want to see Q equaling 42 degrees. That should not be in there, so get rid of it. That 42 degrees is not part of the picture. It was your calculation. It was used to figure out your angle, but it's not part of the solution. All right? So you have an assignment, Part B, pages 4, 5, 6, and 7. I drew some lines in there, forcing you to go back and forth between the angles, measuring some things. You will need your protractor for that one for sure. And I even give you the little angles right there for when you classify them in the next question. All right? Try to write out the words rather than just go A, R, O, S, and R, right? The reason for that is spelling helps you remember what does A stand for. I don't know. I just wrote A. Well, it'll help you remember it's an acute angle. All right. So write them out. Check them out. Your answer keys are attached on your Google Classroom. Let me know if you have any questions. And when you're done, hit the hand in button. All right. Happy measuring, drawing, and classifying angles, guys. See you later. Bye.